Okay, this is another MIDI reactive patch. This time I'm showing a fretboard instead of a note circle. And this is something I wanted to do for a while, but was kind of tricky conceptually for me. And I don't know, I got it working with using jitter multiple. I previously had like image textures. Actually, I used just like little PNGs for the strings and frets and the notes and placed them in a certain way. But anyways, I got it working in 3D. So the idea here is it's still using MIDI. So I'm using a piano to show the notes, but there it is. I mean, it's like those guitar diagrams. Like when you learn guitar, you rely on this a lot. It's a little visually noisy just because it's showing, all the positions of every note. So if you play like this E, you can play it here, you can play it here or here. I haven't really figured out how to limit it to certain positions on the neck. Like that'd be kind of cool if I could play and only show one region of the fretboard, but whatever. I mean, those notes are there. That's how that goes. So what I'm doing is I'm taking MIDI in, just getting the sustain value so I can play a chord and let go. And jitter multiple is setting the position and scale for all of these circles. They're all shapes, grid shapes. So the positions are preset. They all exist there as soon as you open the patch and start running it. What I'm using the MIDI notes to do is set the scale of them to show or hide them. So what happens is it comes, through the slider. I'm using these values here to kind of set what the lowest note is going to be on each row. So it's kind of like, I'm tuning it to, this is E standard. I could change these open strings so that they're different notes, but there you go. It's an E standard. So the note comes through, and so does the velocity. And as that comes through, it sets the cell in this matrix that corresponds to that string. So, for example, this note is setting cell 0, 0, and that's here. And it's what the velocity is. I mean, I guess it's 71 is what came through. What am I doing for the scaling? I just have it so that it's the X. So I set the cell, for example, this is cell 0, 0, and this would be cell 0, 1, 0, 2, all the way through there. If I get up to here, this would be set cell 1, 0, and then 1, 1, 1, 2, all the way down this one. And your next string, set cell 2, 0. So that's how I handle the different strings. What gets weird is when you play, like this would be set cell 6, 0, and that note is also here, so it's being shown there. So actually this note, it exists on this string. It's just like way down there, on cell a million probably, because of whatever this number ends up being. Like if I zoomed out, it would be way, way down there. Well, I'm setting the scale of those notes. I'm setting the scale of those notes with the velocity. In this JitGen just does a little check on whether the velocity is greater than 0, and if it is, it multiplies it. Then if it's greater than 0, a 1 comes out of here times 0.6. So then the scale is 0.6 for all of them. So that goes out of here and into the scale input on the multiple, and that sets your scale. The frets is just a grid shape that's a plane that's set up in a grid, and the same thing for the strings. I just have them set up. The scale is the most specific part of this, just to get the spacing right. And I would like to get the spacing of like a real neck where the frets get smaller as you go higher. That'd be kind of cool. But for now they're all even. And that is the fretboard visualizer thing. They're all being drawn to a JitGL node, and I can rotate that node to show they're being drawn in 3D. So hoping to use this in some other patches, but that's another fun MIDI visualizer thing I've been working on.